Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Ad Profits Weekly webinar. I'm Carolyn North. I'm one of the admin, and I am so happy to have the opportunity to introduce to you a very important person to me and to all of us. He is the leader, he is the administrator, he is the owner of AHP Profits. Charles Scoville is a wonderful person. And you know, when you really want to find success online and you want to find a program that is going to be long lasting, a program that you feel will be dependable and stable, you need to know who the owner of the program is. And I'll tell you, since I have been a part of AHP Profits and I have been following Charles Scoville's lead since April, I have been intrigued. I have been very, very encouraged and motivated to reach beyond myself. I thought I knew a lot about advertising, and I did have some experience, certainly, from the past years, but you can always learn something new. And there's no better person to learn from than Charles Scoville. He's a wonderful father. In my experiences, I had the opportunity to work under him. I have seen him with his son. I haven't seen him with the son, but I have seen his fortitude, his consistency, his love for family and for his son, and his commitment to his son. And that means a lot because as a father, being committed to raising your son is a very important thing to have, because there are so many fathers out here that are not really great fathers. But Charles is a wonderful father. He has a wonderful little boy called Taylor, and they are best friends. They love each other, and I just get a big kick out of even looking at their picture together. And as Charles talks about the things that they do together, I think it's wonderful. And that lets me know what kind of person that he is, not just as a father, but as a leader. And as a leader, Charles has really shown us how to become great marketers online and how to use advertisement to reach our goals. And he not only does it, he not only talks about it, but every day he walks his walk. What that means is that he does what he tells us to do, and he does it very well. And I'm glad to have this opportunity to be able to learn from him and be able to use such a wonderful, wonderful tool. And AHP Profits has so many tools within, and that I've used that has really created some individual successes for me that I'm very, very happy with it. And I'm glad to have this opportunity to introduce Charles, and without further ado, I bring to you Charles Scoville.
Thank you very much, Carolyn, for your introduction, and thank you everyone for being on this call and for maybe even watching this webinar recorded. Definitely appreciate all of your support and everyone being involved here. When AHP Profits came online April 8th of 2013, a lot of people really didn't know what AHP Profits was. We did our best in educating people of what AHP Profits is all about, how to use it to make money, and how to use it to drive traffic to your websites and utilize the advertising services to really see results online. I know that when I was explaining about the services and how great they were, some people started to panic and spread some false rumors all around the internet. But I do want to just to reiterate that AHP Profits remains as one of the top advertising websites online. This is AdHits, and you can see that just refreshing the page that this is real AdHits, and you can see that we are ranked number 3 in the industry that uses AdHits, and being highly ranked out of the thousands of websites that utilize AdHit services, I really believe that we have truly incredible advertising services. And we've got a number of advertisers who have been using our services who couldn't agree more. And I just know that for myself, when I use our services, I continually win referral contests on other traffic exchanges. I'm getting signups. I'm blowing people away, and people are asking, how in the world are you doing this? And I say to them, all I'm using is AdHit Profits advertising services. That's it. And I've been trying to get some of these owners and admins to get more fully on board in referring them and their members to AdHit Profits. And I believe that a lot of these owners, they're a little bit scared, because I think that if they were telling all of their people about AdHit Profit services, people might not use them as much. I think that's kind of their fear. And the main fear that I want them to help overcome is the true marketers. Don't just use one resource. If you're really interested in increasing your income, in making a difference in what you earn with your marketing opportunities, you're going to want to advertise in as many places as you possibly can. And so I look at AdHit Profits as being one of the best and top choices to go to place your ads, because of how many people are really coming across those ads and how responsive those advertisements really are compared to the things that I've personally used online. AdHit Profits has remained the most responsive advertising services for me. Robert Kiyosaki, June 6th of 2012, posted this on Facebook, and I'll make it a little bit larger so you can see. He says, most people never get wealthy simply because they are not trained to recognize opportunities right in front of them. Now, when you think about that for just a minute, and you see that AdHit Profits is ranked one of the top advertising sites online, that you can start to kind of reflect back on this and say, you know, there's a lot of people who aren't using AdHit Profits services right now, but are they the people we want to follow? Are they the wealthy people? Are they the true marketers? Are they the people who are dedicated income earners online? And when you start to look at the advertisements that are on AdHit Profits, some of them are website owners that are selling leads. Some of these people are making greater income within their income opportunities than most other people do in their income opportunities. These are people who are taking advantage of what is truly here right in front of them. And that's something that I really just want to just drive home on this particular webinar, is that advertising on AdHit Profits is an opportunity. There are some people who look at AdHit Profits and say, you know, the shared revenue isn't very high right now, so everyone stay away from advertising there. That's a completely backwards way of thinking. The best thing to look at is that the quality is absolutely there. So if you are involved in any kind of opportunity, anything, you already know that you're going to make more money getting referrals. And most people don't recognize this, but if you create a branded website with a lead capture or an opt-in page, something like that, then you'll be able to see a lot more signups, and you'll be able to follow up with them and create a team with them that you can kind of enter multiple different opportunities with all together and invite them to follow you because they see you as a leader because you've stood out that way. People that just promote a replicated website aren't standing out as leaders. But if you brand yourself and stand out as a leader, you can start to gain a following, people that trust you, they know you, they like you, and as they receive your tips and hints, they start to see that you're smart and that when you join something, it's going to be sound. And so some of the people that I've been speaking with at first, they say, what reason is there to join AdHit Profits right now? Because the shared revenue is low. And I say, look at the advertising. We've got over 149,000 unique visitors to our website in just the last 24 hours. That's a reason to advertise on AdHit Profits. The results that people are getting on AdHit Profits, they keep advertising. All of these banner spaces are filled up because people are getting results. So make sure to make full use of all of our services, and let's get out there. Let's invite people to taste them, to try them out for themselves. And the more that people start to see the value of our services, the more people will begin to use them, which will increase our shared revenues over time. Now, I look at sites that have been online for a very, very long time. For example, NeoBucks. I know that it took about a year and a half for the industry to see what NeoBucks has to offer. And when they first came out, they were a big bang. And if you look at their Alexa ranking, it starts to drop down. And then about the year and a half mark, it just can't be stopped. It keeps going up until they made a site change that people had a hard time understanding. And then there was a sudden drop. And then once when people started to understand how good that site change was, then you saw that it increased quite a bit on the Alexa traffic ranking. Same thing goes with Easy Hits for You. It took 7 years before they were recognized within the industry for the services that they have to offer. Their Alexa ranking was up and down, quite sporadic. But once when people within the industry saw what it was that they offer and how they can benefit from utilizing Easy Hits for You, then they shot up and they've not come down since. 7 years. With AHP Profits, I've always spoken about this and how we're going to be online for years and years to come. And I was hoping to help people quell any kind of concern about spending money on advertising services on AHP Profits and then have it suddenly disappear. And that's not going to happen. AHP Profits is going to remain online for years and years and years to come. And as people utilize these services, we're going to continue to share those revenues with everyone who clicks their ads every single day. Now, there's been a few people that have said, you know what, you changed to the 25 ads. They don't really like that. Well, if you look at how many credits people were purchasing, we had a number of people asking for a way to have their credits used up faster. So I thought up a way was to increase the number of clicks. I've tried my best to educate our members with why that is, but for some reason or another, people would rather go to a forum and read what these so-called leaders are saying about AHP Profits rather than listen to what I am saying about AHP Profits and the reasons why we changed to the 25 clicks. It was merely to help people use up their credits a little bit faster. Because of the response, I did reduce the time that people would remain on sites, but even still, looking at sites like Easy Hits for You that have been online forever, they have people that are remaining on websites for 20 seconds, and people surf thousands of websites every single day on Easy Hits for You, and they do it happily. Nobody complains, and you look at their comments on Facebook, and everyone's happy with Easy Hits for You, and people are surfing, and they're getting a 1-to-1 ratio. People that are clicking 25 ads on AHP Profits are getting a 1-to-1 ratio, because whenever you surf 25 ads, you're going to be getting your share in all of the clicks that happen that day. And I think that that's just a fantastic mode of doing it. Instead of earning credits, we sell credits and give everyone a share in those revenues and give sponsors the commissions from their referrals on any time that they buy credits. So I just kind of look at this and say, this is a really great model. There's no reason to make a lot of changes. I know that there's been a lot of people asking me to make some changes, and I just say, look, you know, these services are great. They're producing results for people. And if people don't want to use the services for the results that they can achieve by using our services, then they can go join the next hype that comes out and scams them. AHP Profits has never been an investment opportunity, has never been a hype or anything like that. And I've always said that from the very beginning. So there's no change there. There's no variance there. There's been a few minor changes, mainly because of making things work a little bit better for people as they've given us some feedback. So I just want to just close again with this quote from Robert Kiyosaki. Most people never get wealthy simply because they are not trained to recognize opportunities right in front of them. And if you look, we are an opportunity that's right in front of you for advertising anything that you're involved in to help you get traffic to your websites, referrals, get new signups for your lists, and help you overall make more money online. And when you apply true skills for advertising and marketing, you'll start to recognize that AHP Profits truly is one of the best advertising resources online. So at this time, what I want to do is just open up and see if there's any questions, and then I'll close the call and turn the time back over to Carolyn to close us out. And so far, there's not any questions. Oh, thanks, Paul. He's clapping. Thank you very much for that. Sure. What is your question, Emmy? I'll give him a second to type that in. And one of the things that I would definitely recommend to anybody is to go to our earlier videos, even the very first video ever released, and we'll explain everything about how Ad Hit Profits works and how it actually works exactly the same way today, except for how things are set up a little bit differently with the clicks and the queues. But everything is set up exactly the same way. So Emmy is asking why it's going too slow, and it's mainly because the reason why people got involved with Ad Hit Profits at the very beginning is because the revenue sharing aspect. Although I kept speaking about the advertising services and how great they are, a lot of people overlooked that and they purchased advertising that they never intended to use. They were just purchasing the advertising services to share in revenue. So when they purchased, they sat back and did nothing. And so when everyone was doing that, we just don't have the kind of sales that were going on at the very, very beginning because everyone rushed in to get their share in the revenues and then rushed out once when that was over. And what's remained are the people who are serious about earning online and utilizing the services to gain more referrals, leads, and signups for their offers and sharing in revenue, whatever those amounts are. And if you go to a site like Easy Hits for You, you're not going to even make a penny in a day. And if you go to a site like Got Safe List or something like that and you surf all day long and you're collecting all kind of credits, if you want to change in your credits for cash, you're going to get way super less than a penny, maybe a thousandth of a penny for all of the credits that you have. So I look at with Ad Hit Profits that people simply just don't recognize what is here. They simply don't know. And talking about slow, I kind of look at it more as that this is average. What happened at the very beginning when everyone slammed and banged in, that was fast. So this is normal speed. That's what I just look at it this way. The next question is where to find early videos. The place to go, and I'll just bring that up here for you real quick, is our Ad Hit Profits YouTube channel. And that's youtube.com/user/Ad Hit Profits. And you can scroll over here and keep scrolling, and then when you open up all of the videos, you can go down and see them all. I mean, there are so many. We've been so transparent this entire time on exactly how Ad Hit Profits works, what to expect, compliance, explaining that we're not an investment opportunity, that we're an advertising service sharing revenues, and we've had regulators looked into Ad Hit Profits, mainly because some people wanted to get a refund, and we said no, and they said, well, I'm going to go and tell my regulator about this. And so they went and told their regulator. The regulator looked into Ad Hit Profits and found that we're completely compliant, and they had no reason to shut us down. So I know that we're completely legal and compliant because we have passed the test. That was the sheer test. That was the true test of having regulators take a look at Ad Hit Profits and say, you know what, this isn't a Ponzi. People out there say it is, but we know that it's not, and so do the regulators. The next question is, do you have plans on improving Ad Hit Profits? When I take a look at all of the services being offered, it's kind of difficult to improve upon everything that we already offer. I mean, when you look at a lot of the popular sites out there like Easy Hits for You, we have the text ads. We have the traffic exchange aspect. We also have a pay-to-click aspect with the treasure chest. I mean, we have all kinds of things all rolled up into one. I've been kind of exploring what else can we add, and if we add anything more, would it really help anybody more than how we already are helping people? Ultimately, all of these services are for advertising purposes, and if people are purchasing them for any other reason, then there can be some disappointment, or maybe some speculation or fear or doubt that can enter. Because I know that when we first started, as people were purchasing based upon some kind of a percentage of return for that day, when that amount varied, that's when people started to speculate, that's when people started to fear, that's when people worried, and that's where rumors spread. And I just kind of look at that and say, you know, if everyone was actually here to purchase the advertising and they were benefiting from the advertising services the way that it was designed, we would have never had any slowdown because the people would have continued to buy the advertising services for what they can do versus from what the percentage is for that day. It was only when there was some fluctuations that people speculated, doubted, stopped their purchasing, stopped their buying, and that's what's caused things to slow down more and more and more. It's just the speculation and the fear and the doubt. That's really all it was, is that people were feeling uncertain. but we're not going anywhere. The services are great, and I hope that helps answer that question. There's definitely ways that I'm looking at how to improve AHP profits, but I kind of have to look through how does that really help the customer? How does that really help everybody involved, the advertisers, the affiliates, and how do I see this benefiting the business as a whole? And so that's why I've been adding the things that I've already added, is just looking for more ways to offer real value and true benefit to our members. Any other questions before I turn the time back over to Carolyn? All right, it looks like what I'll do then is go ahead and turn the time back over to you, Carolyn. I want to thank you all again for being on this call or for listening to the recording. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your evening.
Everyone, please take what Charles is saying very seriously, because as you will find, if you follow his lead, you will be successful. Advertising is very important. Thank you very much, Charles, for the wonderful presentation that you gave us. And so we'll take it here and in the webinar. Everybody have a good night and happy holidays.